Did she break the rule or didn't she in chess? I'm just going to find out whether the Fide master from Colombia broke the opening rule or not. So that's what I'm going to do next. I hope you like this. We're going to look at this game that's just been played at leechess.org, and it's a 3-minute game against a woman Fide master from Colombia. I think that's correct. Okay, so let's go. I'm black, of course, so here we got no breaking of the rules yet, because I'll tell you what, this rule gets broken a lot of times. It's not a rule, but it is a rule. If Nimzovich or Alekine or Capablanca or something were around still, they'd be probably crying about the way that chess has been played, where people are just attacking in the opening, and they really shouldn't be. So I'm just going to check whether this Fide master, Mary someone, is actually playing correctly. And I think you might find that she... So I'm just going to speed through these moves because it is a 3-minute game, so I do want to represent it as that. So I'm hoping you enjoy this wee session here for you. This tournament is just finished. I've only played, I'll show you the result afterwards. And so here, of course, I play the breaking of the opening rules. Okay, I move a pawn twice. Computer's giving h6, but I play e5. Dubious. I'm not sure why the computer thinks it's dubious, but let's stay tuned. Knight e5 is better, and it's usual that I meet knight e5. Here I just have a wee trick. Okay, bishop f3, so I play king h8. So everyone can see my wee little simple threat, or can see why white cannot capture the pawn on d5. So here we go, and I'm sure this woman Fide master is fully aware of this as well, but may have dropped the ball in this case. So here we go, king h8 with, this is a preventative move to be bishop d5 check, and it's very feeble, but sometimes the opponent, who is still in the opening by the way, sort of attacks instead of getting developed, and I'm not developed either. Bishop d5, blunder. So the computer's showing it's a clear blunder as knight d5, and now queenie cannot recapture here as this is check. See, king takes, and I'm sure everyone knows this by now, and white will be queen down for a piece. Queen e2, realizing her mistake, so I play knight e3. I'm now going to swap off pieces, because instead of pawns, because I'm a piece up. If I swap off pawns, then we end up in maybe a drawn endgame, because I might just be a piece up, but it might not be any good. So if we swap off all the pawns and I've got an extra piece, then, you know, say for instance I've got a bishop and a bishop versus a knight, okay, and no pawns on the board. I'm not going to win that game. Well, I might. Excuse me, I just bumped my microphone and I'm hitting my chair and all that sort of stuff. So here comes fe3. Now this is probably a way to go for white here. So black has to develop, of course, because that's what I'm talking about. Development, okay, centralization of some sort or another, and king safety. Well, my king's pretty tucked up nicely in bed there, isn't it? So here goes bishop b7. Now these bishops are, of course, pointing down to these two squares here, and I'm starting to look like I'm doing what I'm saying here to do. Rook f8, bishop f8. Oops, it's gone backwards. Knight d2, so is that knight. Queen d5. Now this is no particular reason whatsoever, but e4 comes around. Queen g5, still looking at this diagonal here, this spot here, and wanting to move the rook into play somewhere like here, here, or something like that. Okay, so here's knight f3. This is a pest like a wasp. Be like a wasp in chess. And so she's been like a wasp in chess, which is very good. So I have to try to equal her game. I play queen f4, e5, and now we have rook e8, rook f1. This looks a bit scary because my queen there's a discovery attack on my queen with the rook. So here I play king g8 again. What's that all about? Why I play king g8 is I want to protect this bishop on f8. So if now knight d2, for instance, then I can just play queen takes pawn e5. And thereby, if the queen takes the queen, okay, the rook takes, and my king is defending bishop from rook takes bishop checkmate in other circumstances. So here, white played e6, and so all I'm interested in is liquidating the pieces. So I go queen e4, bishop e4, and it's not long till the finale. Knight g5, bishop d5, rook e8, rook e1, sorry, and h6. Now asking the question of the knight on g5, of course, so kind of biffing the knight, and also looking at this pawn on e6, which will soon be only singularly defended. So after knight f7, rook e6, and she resigned after this. She could have played on a little bit, but she resigned here. I probably would have played on, knowing who my opponent is. Okay, so let's have a look at this chess position for today. It's sort of like kind of easy. So I'm going to give you Atlee Chess, the chess puzzle for the day. I'm going to give you about 10 seconds to work it out. Okay, so are you ready? But first I will just show you this to prove that I'm not doing some sort of like some sort of movie mistake or some sort of it's not trick photography. Here is the stats at the end. I came 65th. That's not bad. First was Hal the Pal, or so. I have to say these names. I haven't practiced this, obviously. International Master Lenin Gura, that's how I say it, was second with the Silver Cup, and Miracle EQ was third with the Bronze Cup. 2633 for performance for number one player, 2326 for second, and 2273. 13 games. I've played, have I played 5 games? So here's my stats, 65th, and I'm not trying to brag or anything, but there is, you will not see this because my picture is in the way, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that so you can see it, and then we're going to look at the puzzle for today as promised, and you get 10 seconds. So there it is there. Performance rating, not bad. 2441. Games played 5. Win rate 100%. Berserk rate. And if I don't tell you these sorts of things, you don't know if I'm any reasonable at chess or not. But I do notice a lot of players, if you want to win some games, a lot of games, just practice that concept. Just listen to people like Ben Feingold, Grandmaster Ben Feingold. He says, learn from your mistakes, me too, and anyone that's any reasonableness at chess, learn from your mistakes, okay? Learn from your mistakes. And that's what Capablanca says, learn from your mistakes and go from there and start winning lots of games. If you just follow those 3 principles in the opening, I'm not joking, you will do better than if you don't. So here we go. Let's have a look at this daily chess puzzle, which is really, really good for your chess to visualize the answer in your head. Way better than working it out over the board. So here we go. Here is the move from white that white just played here, which is, of course, rook d6. So you got 10 seconds, or I'll give you 15 or 20, okay? So work out what you're going to do next. So we have a wee double rook sacrifice. So that's the only clue I'm going to give you. And so I'm sure you can see it now. And what happens after the swap off is there's a wee kind of a fork. And that wins the game for black. So of course you can all see it now as rook f1 check, queen f1, rook f1 check, king f1, queen f5 check, rook f4, queen f4 check, and white resigned. Okay, now white would be pretty happy if black next move after king g1 went king f7, wouldn't they? Like this, as white would now be in the game again. So let's have a look at the ending of this video at last. So I hope you enjoyed this wee session and try to do it. Just try it. Just try it. It will help your game immensely because a lot of people out there aren't obeying this sensible and practical advice. That is not my advice, but it's the advice of the greats, okay? So I do wish you all the best with your chess, and I hope that it improves greatly all the time, and watch those great players on the internet. They're just fantastic. You need to refresh your playing style with looking at the greats. You really do, and so do I. Everyone needs to do it. Else, I start to get stale. Okay, so bye for now, and here comes the ending. And thank you very much for viewing. I really appreciate you at home or wherever you are, and please stay safe. Thank you. Kia kaha. David Wegener over and out. Okay.